What's up, guys? We are back with another episode of Beneath the Surface, the deep dive podcast that I still don't even know what we're about, honestly. We just kind of talk about stuff.
Pretty
I'm
much.
I'm one of your hosts, Tyler P, joined as always by the wonderful
Nick the Red. And I'm so happy to be here right now.
um we are talking about just a handful of things today. I am a little sick, so I apologize in advance.
We're doing it
If
old
I-
school, so you don't have to look at them.
Exactly. I was like, I can't be showing my sick and awful mug on a stream. So we decided, throwback time, we're just going to do voice. But today we wanted to talk about a little bit on the Tarkir Dragonstorm spoilers. I'm really excited about them.
I'm not. I'm going to be real with you. I've been getting out of Magic lately, so I've not really had any interest in the spoiler season. But Tyler's going to sit here and tell me about some of the cards, and I'm going to give you my genuine reaction to what they do.
I was about to say, there's some insane stuff, and I don't play as much either at this point. I'm a terrible Magic player in that I really only play Magic about, I don't know, every couple of months I sit down and I'll play like several games in a like row, and then I just kind of sit back, collect, and just kind of watch how the meta develops. I'm much more of a passive Magic enjoyer than an active one, if that makes sense.
No, I mean, obviously.
But I'll just jump straight into some of these.
Straight into it. All right, hit me with the first
I
one.
was about to say, there's no point beating around the bush. Here's one that has already been getting calls for banning. The new Ugin.
They're making... Wait, Ugin's coming back?
Ugin's coming back.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's back.
Like, what's the point anymore? Like, if you're gonna banish away some big bad villain and his eternal warden is supposed to be a character, and then suddenly you're just be like, oh, nope, never mind. We need to bring him back.
Well, that's the thing, is we don't know what's up with Bolus, because Bolus doesn't have his spark still. So he's just stuck in the meditation plane. He can't leave. So, I mean, Ugin definitely was
Yeah,
like...
but with Omen Paths, now they're gonna probably hit
That's
some
true.
kind of awkward way of getting him back, and suddenly he's gonna remember stuff, and then he's gonna go on some type... Mark my words, they're gonna bring him back because he was one of the more popular villains, and he's gonna find a way to get power again or go crazy like he did during the mending, and just... It's... I'm not looking forward to it, but
Well-
anyway, you were telling me about Ugin.
Yeah, well, so... And here's my thing. Magic needs villains again, because we've been dealing with a lot of villains, but haven't been introducing villains to replace them.
Right, give us new villains then.
I
Give
think-
us something interesting. Like, I thought Valgavoth would have been an interesting villain.
I
And then
wouldn't
they,
be...
like, ended his story on Dustmore. I know, I keep cutting you off.
No, you're fine.
Go ahead.
I think that Valgavoth's going to show back up, for sure. He isn't dealt with. He's just dealt with for the time being. And I think Tezzeret's going to step into his own finally as a full villain.
I mean, with what I've been hearing around the shop, with the Edge of Eternities,
Edge of Eternities.
and apparently he's going to take more of a limelight.
Yeah.
I would honestly rather see Tezzeret not be a villain this go around.
What, you're
I
like,
would rather see him, like, either now that he's free of Bolus, like, for real, and he's free of the Praetors, for real, he's his own person again. I think he just needs to, like, be his own person. Stop. He doesn't need to be a mustache-twirling villain.
No, I mean, I guess that's the issue, is our entire, like, knowledge of Tezzeret up to this point has just been as
The
Bolus's
slave to Bolus.
henchman. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, essentially as a slave to him, because he was... At first it seemed like he was like, oh, I'm working with him for my own goals, and then Bolus was like, if you ever try to double-cross me, I'll kill you.
Right. And
Which
then he
is-
worked with the Praetors to get away from Bolus.
And then that backfired on him, too, a little bit. But, yeah, he's finally not working under someone. But so, okay, new Ugin card. So understand, this is one that people are already calling for potential bans on, especially in Modern. 7 mana, 7 loyalty. Static ability. Whenever you cast the spell, exile up to 1 target permanent that's 1 or more colors.
A spell.
Cast... Excuse me. I'm trying not to cough, I swear.
You're unexcused.
Ah.
Proceed.
So it's whenever you cast this spell, exile up to 1 target permanent.
This spell. Okay.
Yeah. That's 1 or more colors. Then, whenever you cast a colorless spell, exile up to 1 target permanent that's 1 or more colors. These are static abilities.
This is a static ability. Okay, so I'm going to pay 7 to just pop something.
Yes. Guaranteed exile.
And then get to use his +1 ability if it resolves, or his plus ability, or any of his abilities, if it resolves, his loyalty abilities. And then from then on, if I cast a colorless spell, any colorless spell.
Yep.
That's stupid.
Yeah. My joke has all been with that. I'm like, thank God they've never printed 0 mana artifacts.
I know, right?
That would be, that would make that card busted. But so, his +2 is you gain 3 life and draw a card.
Okay.
His 0 ability is add 3 colorless.
There's no stipulations on that.
No
It's just
stipulations.
add
That's a
3.
0 ability too, so it doesn't even minus.
Cool. So basically, you only paid 4 for him.
And his ultimate ability, or his big ability,
Right.
his -11. So you have to plus twice.
Oh no.
Search your library for any number of colorless non-land cards, exile them, then shuffle. Until end of turn, you may cast those cards without paying their mana costs.
A pardon for the silence. If we were on camera, you could see my look of absolute incredulity.
Yeah, it's busted. This is an
That's
insane
stupid.
card.
That is absolutely stupid.
That's
because,
what I'm saying.
Okay, so in standard, I could see it not being that big of a threat
Because you're not getting to
there
7
are not-
mana.
Right. If you're not getting to 7 mana, but it's not even just that. It's just that the colorless cards in standard right now are not cheap. There aren't any really, really cheap colorless cards that you're gonna drop to do the passive ability. The fact that you're paying 7 mana, but then you're refunding 3 mana, makes it a little bit of an easier pill to swallow. It's going to see play in standard. I don't think it's going to see a lot of play in standard, but I do think
it'll see a little bit.
What is it? The Scion of the Seven Deaths or something like that.
Yeah, that's seen a little.
Saw a
Sire
little
of
bit
7
of play.
Deaths.
Yeah, that saw a little bit of play. It's a 7-drop 7/7, but the fact that there is not more than just standard as a format in Magic. You've got Commander, and I know they don't really care about designing cards around Commander, but how many 0-cost artifacts and 0 mana rocks and mana rocks that produce a lot of colorless do you think are going to go into a deck that can literally just, hey, I'm just going to exile all your stuff now?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, and also even just in Modern.
I was going to say that was going to be my next thing, is that in Modern,
One word.
they just unbanned freaking Mox. What is it? Mox Opal?
Yeah.
They just unbanned.
Was it Mox Opal?
Yeah, Mox Opal.
Yeah, it was Mox. Yeah,
They
Mox
just
Opal.
unbanned Mox Opal recently. Dude, seriously.
I couldn't remember if it was Mox Opal. Yeah, it is Mox Opal. For some reason, I always mix it up with Chrome Mox. I don't know why.
Well, because Chrome Mox wasn't banned.
Yeah, but so
But still, and then you can flash crap like that in easily enough. You build a deck around having flash, Leyline of Anticipation, friggin' the Shimmermere, friggin'
well, and
that
again,
other one artifact.
there's simple. There's just one word, one deck that exists in Modern. Tron.
Infinity. Yeah.
Well, Tron. Tron's the one that it matters for, because Tron was falling off of meta because Karn Liberated.
Yeah.
Not it's gotten power crept. This is the new Karn.
Right. That's better than Karn, actually.
This is new Karn.
It's
and
better. Because for pretty much the same loyalty, actually cheaper loyalty, because I think Karn's ultimate was 15, wasn't it, to reset the game?
something like it was up there.
Yeah, it's like 15 to reset the game. This one is 11. It makes it easier. Not to
And you
mention
just exile everything.
All of the proliferate effects, all of the doubling counters effects. That's stupid.
The only thing I will say, and this is something to note that's weird about this, is the exile is not a May ability. So if you cast 20 artifacts
That's true.
and you run out of targets on your opponent's board, because it specifies that it has to be one or more colors.
One or more colors, so you can't hit lands.
You
'cause
can't
it's
hit
not
lands.
colored.
So you blow up your opponent's
Unless it's a
board.
Dryad Arbor.
Yeah. You blow up your opponent's board, and then you have to start blowing up your own board. So you
True,
have to,
unless you build
cherry
a deck
pick.
around not having colors.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, the one thing that isn't it still unbanned in Modern? Painter Servant.
I don't know if Painter
I
Servant is
think
unbanned in
Painter
Modern.
Servant's unbanned in Modern.
I'm going to look this up really quick while we
I know it's
talk
unbanned
about
in
it.
Commander.
It did get unbanned in Commander,
Yeah.
which was insane to me.
It might be banned in Modern.
Well, the trade-off that they did with Commander is they really did just decide. They were like, "Huh, it is not banned in Modern." I'm looking at the Modern ban list right now. It is not.
So,
Ponder is banned though.
well, yeah, that's a really efficient card
It
draw.
is very efficient. I just wasn't aware of that. Okay, Chrome Mox is banned in Modern, so it
Okay.
is Mox Opal.
Yeah, Mox Opal.
But so.
That's so dumb. Oh, let me pay this friggin' painter servant. Now every card in your board is now a color. I'm just gonna get rid of your entire board, including your lands.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Now, granted, excuse me. Now, granted, if you wipe out their board and then you play something, you have to get rid of something on your side now because.
Yes.
But then you just get rid of painter servant.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
But so
Anyway,
that's
let's see.
something to think about.
Next card.
Next card is another Planeswalker. The Planeswalkers in this set are just disgusting.
What happened to? We're not going to be flooding with planeswalkers anymore. We're only going to do like one per set.
There's two. There's only two this set.
Only two.
Only two.
Still going back on what they said.
The new one, the other new Planeswalker is Elspeth Stormslayer.
Okay, so we're getting another Elspeth.
She's
mono
three
white?
in double white
Okay.
for 5 loyalty.
I will say I have liked Elspeth's like growth. I did like the Archangel Elspeth. I like the idea that she is Sarah's daughter because Sarah was one of my favorite planeswalkers back in the day, and the
Yeah.
fact that she was murdered just kind of irritated me. But at the same time, having her daughter is now pretty cool. But anyway, proceed. 5 loyalty,
So 5 loyalty. She has a static ability.
of course, because most planeswalkers nowadays do.
I'm glad they introduced the static abilities though back in War of the Spark. I think yes, War of the Spark is when they did it.
A lot of them did.
I don't know. I think it makes sense that a planeswalker just has an effect. Like this is again supposed to be one of the strongest beings in all of Magic, right?
Yeah.
I think they should have like a natural effect on the board. I don't know. That's just me. The static ability is if one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead.
For 5.
Yes,
So she's anointed procession.
correct. She has an anointed procession ability. Let's get into her loyalty
Cool.
abilities. +1. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token.
Okay, so create 2.
Yes. 0 ability. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain flying until your next turn.
I'm going to reserve my next comment until you finish explaining this because I'm tired of interrupting you, but proceed.
-3, which is her, biggest ability.
Yeah, her final
Destroy target creature an opponent controls with mana value 3 or greater. Excuse me.
I kind of wonder if the design team at Wizards actually does any sort of playtesting or any sort of realization that there's a reason why cards like that were never reprinted from back in the day.
I think that this is balanced.
You think that's
I think
balanced?
this is more balanced than Hugin. This is way more balanced than
You
Hugin.
realize, like,
She has single
there's
target
a
removal.
token deck in Standard.
I am aware.
Okay.
I mean, I'm being honest. Like, compared to Ugin,
Well,
Ugin just
sure.
exiles
Right.
everything.
I mean, Ugin basically is just like, hey, get rid of that thing because I said so.
yeah, like,
This is, I'm going to flood the board. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Elspeth has always been about token generation.
yes.
Like, pretty much every Elspeth we've ever seen has some way of creating tokens or doing something with creatures on board. She is the white weenie planeswalker, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you are literally making a slightly harder to cast Anointed Procession with upside.
yeah,
That a card that already has enough upside, it doesn't need any help.
sure. But here's my big thing, though. Here's my thing. Remember Elspeth Sun's Champion?
No,
You don't remember that Elspeth?
I know I didn't really play back then, and I didn't
It
pay
was
attention to
so
it.
Theros was when
Yeah.
it was printed. I'm gonna pull that card up because there's a lot of parallels between Sun's Champion and this new one, Stormslayer. I can tell you off the bat, the plus abilities are effectively the same. So Elspeth, Sun's Champion, 4 and 2 white, so it
Okay.
costs 1 mana more.
1 mana more,
4 loyalty,
so 1 loyalty less.
because, back in the day.
Creep.
Yeah, power creep. Her +1 ability was create 3 1/1 white soldier creature tokens.
Okay.
-3, destroy all creatures with power 4 or greater.
It made sense.
And then -7, you get an emblem with creatures you control get +2/+2 and have flying.
Right. Not worth it.
I mean, it was a bomb back in.
If you could
Standard.
get her to the loyalty you would need to pop it.
I mean, here's the thing though. What you're realistically doing with her,
Don't you Fletcher me.
I'm not Fletchering you. That's gonna have to get edited out.
No.
I bet it will.
Go
I'll
for it.
bet you money on that. I'll bet you $5.
I got 1,000. I'm good.
Fair enough. So what happens is turn 6, you drop her, +1, create 3 1/1s that you have as chump blockers.
Right.
Next turn, blow up everything that's high power, because I think it was at 4 power or greater.
4 power or greater.
So I mean, you're nuking the board of any late game stuff on turn 7.
Sure. Against certain decks, it would have a hard time getting rid of it.
And then
But there's so many different ways. Even in that set, there were so many ways to easily get rid of her.
Sure, there were ways to get rid of her in that set. Again, I remember playing in that set.
I'm not gonna sit here and try and claim dies to removal, but at the same time, distractions.
Yeah, it happens. So we're in an active game store.
So you remind me. But you could burn her.
Yeah.
Because back then, planeswalkers, you could redirect damage to a player to a planeswalker.
Was that still?
That was still a thing during the Theros block.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I distinctly know there's enough direct damage in that set that could hit the planeswalker.
Well, because you had Lightning Strike, you had Anger of the Gods.
Right.
I'm trying to think of what else there was.
But even that, you had flying creatures that could get right over top of those soldiers.
That's true.
What is it? Heroic Fall, or what was the removal spell? It could hit like a legendary creature or something. It doesn't matter. Either way.
Yeah, I know what
There's
you're
enough
talking
removal
about.
in it.
But I don't know. I just think that. I think that it's just a powercraft version of Sun's Champion.
It is. I'm not disagreeing with you. That's kind of my general issue with Magic lately is the fact that a lot of it does seem to be power creep. But I get it. There are definitely some decent cards that have come out. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of these reprints that we're seeing, not even reprints, these newer cards that come out that mimic older cards, are just more powerful versions of the older cards.
So what I think we're going to see happen in the next couple of years, because this reminds me of when Rise of the Eldrazi came out.
Sure, that friggin' 6-year-old nightmare fuel.
We saw with that set, we kind of hit like peak power creep for Magic at the time. It was what people dubbed, battlefield magic or battleship magic.
Right.
Everyone was just rushing their way towards big stuff.
The biggest, stompiest things on there. I mean, when you have a 15/15 flying creature that can't be touched by danger or anything, that gives you an extra turn when you play it. So, hey, look, green players.
But right after that set, we saw Magic kind of take a step back, and we reduced the power creep. That was also around the time that I think Modern was invented. Type 2 became Modern.
I honestly do not remember.
But so what I would not be surprised by is within the next couple of years of sets, we're going to see the same thing happen again.
Sure.
Where Magic is going to hit that crescendo, which I wouldn't be surprised if it happens with Edges of Eternity.
I can see that. I mean,
because it has that energy.
Eldrazi.
I don't even know if Eldrazi are going to be a part of that set because it's not focused on taking place in the Blind Eternities. It's just at what is the edge of the known multiverse, and it's kind of supposed to be like a space opera type set. So,
You know my opinion on space operas.
Look, man, Gundam is amazing. Gundam is the space opera, and I think it is one of the best anime ever made.
Lies.
Not at all. But I would not be surprised if we get a new big bad introduced with that finally. Or even if it's just Bolus coming back. Because like you mentioned Omen Paths, we don't know if an Omen Path just...
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Get a bit closer. But so we were talking about...
And Braden, keep all of this in. The chatter is the funny part.
I don't think it'll be Braden
Probably not.
editing
It's probably
this.
gonna be
It's
Anna.
going to be Anna. Hey, whoever's editing this, can you like throw something up on screen and just tell us who it is so that when I watch the video later, I know who edited this?
Just
That'd
get
be
like
great.
the little cards, the little
Yeah, just
little
like throw some
cards
like
that go up.
I need your input. Like I need a silent third person.
These guys are idiots.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Jamie, can you look this up?
Jamie,
I need this looked up in post. But so that's all I'm really gonna hit on with Magic.
I thought you said you had like 3 cards you wanted to talk about.
I mean, I can talk about a third card. Those 2 were my big ones.
I think okay, so the Ugin I think is dumb and broken and busted.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I'm not seeing any evidence of the fallacy of my decision to step away from Magic. Still like Elspeth, but at the same time, like the fact that they literally just made another version of Anointed Procession, and just all of the token doublers we've had over the last 10. Well, I wouldn't say 10. I'd say when was Amonkhet?
Amonkhet was a while ago.
No, it was 17. That wasn't that long ago.
It's 25, my guy.
Dude, I count
been
time in decades. Shut up.
8 years.
I count time in decades. Shut up.
I was still in high school. Or no, I think I just
You
graduated.
child.
I think I just graduated high school. I know, you were probably on like
I
your
had a
second
child.
mortgage.
I had a child by then.
Okay, here's a third card to hit on. I found
Sure.
one. This one is
Hit me.
pretty milk toast compared to the ones I hit you with. It's called Dracogenesis. It's a mythic
Hang on,
enchantment.
let me see if I can figure this one out.
Okay.
Dracogenesis. It's obviously got something to do with dragons. I'm gonna guess it is red.
Okay.
You already kind of spoiled it a little bit. It's an enchantment.
Yeah, sorry.
It's probably got to do something with either creating dragon tokens or playing dragons at a cheaper cost. I'm gonna go with dragons at a cheaper cost because that just fits the theme.
Okay. I'll let you confirm your answer after I tell you the mana cost.
Go for it.
6 and 2 red.
Okay, nope. It's not gonna be cheaper. It's gonna be free.
Hey, you may cast dragon spells without paying their mana cost.
That is. So... the fact that it's not just putting them onto the battlefield.
It's cast.
It's casting.
It also doesn't specify from your hand. So hey, in that Dragon Commander deck, I can cast my Dragon Commander for free.
Jesus.
There's no video aspect today. Nick has his head in his hands right now. He looks like he is about to completely crash out.
I'm totally pulling up a card right now. Just that shaking my head and having my head in my hands.
He's crying. I see tears running down his face.
That is not because of magic. It probably has something to do with the lack of sleep.
I mean, that's fair. But yeah, so it's a omniscience just for dragon spells.
That is so.
But better actually.
Dumb.
I think it's gonna be strong. I think it'll be interesting.
No kidding.
But so that's the main things I wanted to hit on with Magic.
I think you hit it enough.
There's so much more in this set. I urge anyone watching, go check out the spoilers if you haven't already. Pre-release is next Friday. We're of course hosting one.
Close,
Yeah, we're hosting it along with our lock-in that we're doing.
Yeah, that's why we're doing a lock-in.
A little bit of shameless plugging for a second there.
Shameless. There's no shame here.
What? I sold my shame when I started working here.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. So, yeah,
Well,
lock
it's not like
in.
you had a soul.
I'm not ginger.
No, that's true.
I'm okay.
Hey, your mom said you had red in your hair somewhere.
That's true. So it might be fading. It could easily be fading, but. Yeah, so April 4th, we're going to be doing a lock-in, kicking it off with the Dragons of Tarkir, Dragonstorm. I almost said the old Tarkir set. Kicking it off with that pre-release, and then we'll also be hosting a bunch of other events, including a Sharpie draft, because that was a ton of fun last time when
Yeah,
we
we
did it for
definitely had
Magic.
a lot of fun doing that one.
With more events to come, we'll probably announce some more throughout the week. We have a lot more stuff to think up and plan. We want to do something for every game. Normally we do like a draft or sealed for Lorcana.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, aren't we doing also this one going to be our? Isn't it going to be our liquor lock-in?
yeah, so we're partnering up with WePub, and they're going to be hosting a bar over here. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Well, it is not BYOB. I've been
No.
told to stress this.
Yes, very much
You
so
have-
stressing. You have to purchase the alcohol here.
Yeah, you can't be bringing your own stuff.
Now, pre-gaming can't really stop you.
Can't stop you there, but we do reserve the right that if you get
Rowdy.
rowdy, we can still.
Oh, I will happily,
Send
with
you
a
on.
smile, send you along your way.
But I'm really excited. I think it'll be a lot of fun. When we did the wine and paint nights,
Yeah,
Those were a ton of
It was
fun.
unfortunate that those didn't really do very well in the later times that we did it, because I know the few times that I was here for one,
it was a ton of fun.
people really did enjoy it.
It's just one of those things.
Yeah, there wasn't enough traction, I guess.
It could come back one day, but
Maybe.
I'm not one to make those decisions.
Sword giveaway.
Oh yeah, sword giveaway is also that night, isn't it?
I think so.
I'm pretty
Right.
sure.
Sword giveaway. 4th, right? Yep.
April 4th, yeah, so same night.
Yeah, confirmed.
It's great that he walked right by when
I
we
know,
were talking
right?
about it. How convenient.
Convenience.
Um,
So yeah, if you're following us on social media, the various different social medias, we're going to randomly pick one of our social medias, and then from that pool, we're going to be picking a random person who has commented, followed, subscribed, that kind of thing from
Yeah.
one of our social medias.
so
And
make
that's
sure you hit on all of them.
Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch.
TikTok, Twitch.
Yeah. So basically
Maybe
all of our social medias.
Look us up on MySpace. I'm sure we're there at this point.
At this point, I wouldn't put it past Braden.
I think we have a Threads account.
But no, we're going to be giving away the sword. And if you haven't seen the sword, it's all over our Facebook.
Yeah.
It's all over our TikTok. It is a legitimate sword. It's not a prop.
Didn't you
And
cut yourself on it the other day?
I shaved the skin off of my thumb a little bit. Yes,
Which is funny.
It is a legitimately forged sword.
But you might be thinking to yourself, Tyler, I don't have space for a $5,000 sword in my home. And my
It's a
response is,
$5,000 sword. You can make space.
but yeah, so my responses to that are make space, or you can also take, what is it, $2,500 in cash? Just 2,000 in cash.
It's $2,000 cash or a $5,000 sword, and I mean, it's legitimately a longsword.
Yeah, I mean, again, and it's sharpened.
We
It's
totally.
nice.
If nobody takes the sword, he does. I think he said something about he was considering putting it up again. I think he needs to send it to Shadversity and have them play with it.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
I think that'd be interesting. I know we'll figure out something to do with the
Jamie,
sword, though.
look it up.
Jamie, look it up.
See if Shadversity will take the sword if nobody wants it.
I don't even know how you get in touch with them.
I have no. They have social media just like we do.
Yeah, oh, that's crazy.
The dude's cool.
I haven't watched him in so long. I used to watch his stuff a lot.
The last one I watched was they were testing weapons from a video game, and I can't remember which one it was. I think it was a weird curved weapon, but I don't remember. I'll look at my YouTube history later.
I'm sure it'll show up, yeah.
Anyway, so we're doing that, and then also our TCG teams have been doing fundraisers for the last 2 months,
Yeah, just about, month and a half.
and the 27th, so Thursday night, tomorrow night, because we're recording this on a Wednesday.
Which is not our norm, but,
Yes, I know. But
Look, we make it work.
Thursday, we are going to be doing a drawing on our Twitch for the 50-50 sweepstakes.
Yes.
So if you guys have not bought tickets, if this goes up in a reasonable amount of time, you have until, 7 tomorrow night?
Yeah, yes, 7 tomorrow night.
Either it's a free entry, you can come in, you can get the link to the website to get the email to fill out the form to then submit to get your free entry, or we recommend a donation.
It's not required.
Not required. Recommend a donation of about $10, and that'll get you one entry into the sweepstakes. All of the money, just so everybody knows, 100% of the proceeds go to our TCG teams that we sponsor to go to different events and go to different things. And I think that's one of the biggest things that needs to be understood is that we are not making money off of these.
No, once we do the giveaway, once whoever wins it gets their half, whatever is left over is going into paying for hotel fees, entry fees. I suppose eventually jerseys are a big one.
We actually have jerseys for our Star Wars team because our Star Wars team has a legitimate team so far.
Yeah,
we are putting together a Lorcana team. We are talking with people to do a Magic team.
I'd love to do a Warhammer team at some point to go out and play events.
If we can do events like that. And that's the thing is that we are trying to get these teams put together out of a lot of our locals.
Yeah.
And Braden has already said that if you can get a team together and we can start putting numbers up on boards, he is more than happy to help sponsor the teams.
Yeah.
And so far, our donations are going to our Magic team, Lorcana team, and Star Wars team.
Well, that's just like how, I'm sure all of our locals who may listen to this are well aware, but we got a coin pusher as well.
Oh, yeah.
And that coin pusher...
Dude, he is a mad freaking genius. Because, to clarify... It is a skill-based coin pusher.
It is a skill. It has a button. I love the button.
It has a button that is a skill stop. And the coin dozer literally has gift certificates, booster packs.
There's even a card that has one free TCG single.
It is literally any TCG single in our store,
which
includes, we just recently took in, as I'm pulling it from the case right now, a Kaladesh Masterpiece, right? Masterpiece?
Yeah. I remember when those came out.
Lotus Petal. That's worth, $400? That is up for grabs if you can manage to get that friggin' free TCG single out there, because it is any TCG single.
And what, I think the TCG market on that right now is around 500.
Is it up to 500
I believe so. I'll double check here in a second, but I want to say 475, 525, somewhere in there.
So yeah, so he had it in the store. Literally the first day that he had it, it made almost $300.
Yeah, people love it.
And again, it is not a profit to the store.
No, it all goes to the TCG teams.
Every single solitary red cent that is put through that machine goes directly to our TCG team donations.
Which, with the donations between the different sweepstakes that we've hosted, between the coin pusher and the pusher, we've been able to pay the way for our Star Wars team to go up to Atlanta this weekend.
Yep, we are going
to
a
10K.
10K tournament over 3 days in Atlanta for this weekend. It is up at Cards HQ in Atlanta. And so far, what I've heard, and we've talked with the store a couple of times, not only is Set 4 going to be legal in this thing, which is crazy to me because Set 4 literally just got released, it also is going to be hosting upwards of 100+ people. So that's a lot of people.
It's basically a planetary qualifier in terms of people.
Yeah, no, basically. But I mean, it's over the course of 3 days.
True, it's not a one-day event.
Right. So Friday is going to be Pool 1, and then Saturday is going to be Pool 1's second half.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll be Pool 2's first half, and then Sunday will be Pool 2's second half, and then the top 16 players will then go head-to-head in the top 16 cut for the finals. And then it's basically the whole pool of money is 10K broken down over the two pools.
Which, I mean, because first place is walking away with...
I honestly don't remember the exact number, and I don't want to give you a wrong figure.
That's fair.
We're assuming it's going to be... Because when we looked at the advertisement, it was going to be 6K for Pool 2, 6K or something like that. It was going to be 4K or something for other events. So there are other events that are going on Friday and Sunday. and there's, I believe, 2K for Friday, 2K on Sunday.
Because I think they're doing like Twin Suns.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a Twin Sun event, and it's the main events. The Pool 1 and Pool 2 are competing for about $6,000.
Yeah, so
we're assuming it's going to be broken down, like most of them do, like 4K to the winner.
yeah, and then the other 2K will get broken up amongst the other top few. But, I mean, I think it's exciting, and I really hope that our people
I'm
do
honestly
well.
looking forward to seeing what kind of meta we're going to be walking into, because our teams have been practicing off and on for the last month, basically. Yeah. I think a lot of really solid decks are shaking out. I have to mention the super control deck that a certain owner we all know and love is planning on bringing is gross.
He's been pushing white and blue.
It should not work as well as it does, and I don't want to give too many details in case we do have some people that might be might hear it, might see it. But suffice to say, I have only won 2 games out of like the 7 or 8 that we have played, and I think I got a pretty strong deck myself. So on top of that, really a lot of the stuff that came out in set 4 has allowed us to modify and upgrade a lot of the previous meta decks. So we're probably going to see a decent number of like the old meta decks. But I think there are going to be some contenders from the new stuff.
Yeah, especially like the new bases.
I think the new bases. So that was something interesting. I saw KTOD kind of mentioned where set 1 had epic action bases, and they were all 25 hit points, and they all had a one-time per game ability that they could do. Set 2 didn't have any rare bases in it. They're like, okay, people are still using set 1, we're not going to do any for set 2. Set 3 had bases that were better for Twin Suns because you have more than one leader, right? And so their abilities literally just say, when deployed, not once per game, not an epic action, but when deployed, when deploying a leader, you get this effect, right?
Yeah.
They were 26 hit points and like 24 hit point bases, depending on what it was, right? So those really feel like they were built for Twin Suns, but some of the later cards that have come out now can really take advantage of those. On top of that, when we get to set 4, now the rare bases seem to manipulate decks, how to build your deck, or how you run your deck. The yellow base giving you 3 extra cards in your opening hand, but you can't mulligan. And then at the start of the first action phase, you take 3 cards from hand and put them on the bottom of your deck.
Yes.
So you get to sculpt the hand that you want.
Which is insanely powerful.
It's so good, so powerful, because you're drawing 2 cards per turn anyway. And if out of 9 cards you don't hit a turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 play, there is something horribly wrong with you.
At that point.
It's either a deck issue or it's just 100% luck is not on your side at that point.
Like, no joke.
But then the counter deck to that, because I always feel like they came in pairs. The counter deck to that is the blue deck that says your starting hand is only 5 cards instead of 6. So now you're down a card compared to your opponent, but you're getting 5 extra hit points. Because that's the thing, is the yellow base draws you the extra cards, but has 27 hit points. The blue base makes you draw 1 less card, but gives you 5 extra hit points for that 1 card. In reality, if I burn a card to heal my base, that's effectively what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The last 2 bases are the Data Vault, which says your starting deck size is increased by 10, meaning you have to run with a minimum of 60 cards with a 10-card sideboard. And the Thermal Oscillator, which is the red base that says reduce the minimum deck size in your deck by 5, meaning you can build a deck around 45 cards. And as we've seen, the smaller the deck, the more consistent it is.
Like, the second I read that card, I had to do a double take because the idea, like, the amount of R&D that had to go into that to make sure that it didn't bust the game wide open.
Because notice it's 5 less and not 10 less.
I think at 10 less, you're playing a limited deck at that point.
Right. You are, because, it's 40 cards instead of 50. But in this game, the limited decks are only 30 cards. So if I could construct a deck that allows me to only put in the cards I want to see,
I was gonna say, because I think if you talk to like a Magic player or something,
Deck thing
their
is
ideal
deck winning.
Yeah, the ideal Magic player's deck size would be like 30 cards.
I mean, yeah, the core concept of their deck is pretty much 30 cards, and they only add in the lands just because they have to run cards that can generate them resources.
You know,
whereas
so
in this game,
the cards are the resources.
Yeah, every card in the deck is a resource. So,
which adds to the versatility of things.
Trust me, I originally toyed with the idea of running like Piet Thermal Oscillator, and only running a few ramp cards. Basically, you can get away with running 2-ofs and not feel it in the deck. You will pretty much guaranteed to draw those cards anyway.
If you're drawing off of 45, like...
Right, 45, and then if you have any sort of like card draw on top of that.
Yeah, so like Dr. Pershing, like Super Laser.
Pershing, the Prepare for Takeoff.
Yep.
Well, with Pershing, it's blue. That's blue, but
true.
Yeah, I get the point. Like, you're in red. You could run the planning card that nobody ran from set 1 that draws you 3 cards.
Yeah.
Or draws you 2 cards. Like, any of those pretty much increases your consistency. You could literally just run the cards you want to see and then ways to draw them.
Yeah. But, you know, I think everyone's really excited for that. I know the hotel is booked.
Yeah,
tomorrow,
all off of the money we made off the coin dozer.
Which is insane. It's so crazy to think.
Yeah, we got 2 rooms, 3 rooms, something like that.
Because it's how many people going up? I think it's
so
6.
far we got 6 people going. So unfortunately, some of our teammates couldn't make it.
I mean, it's a trip up to Atlanta. You know, people got family, people got kids and jobs.
I'm one of the guys driving, so I've already tuned my car up and everything.
I was going to say, because I know tomorrow everyone's going to be taking the time, final deck tuning.
Getting
those last-minute games in.
We got to get the decks submitted, too.
So if we haven't, deck lists.
If we haven't submitted our decks, we need to have it done before. I would say we should have it done before Friday. They request that it be done before the event.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to finalize. I'm probably going to try and squeeze in one game before I leave if Braden's still here. If he's not, then... I don't know. Maybe I'll save young Braden. I'll sit down and friggin' play one game with
Kidnap him.
me. I'll Shanghai him in his luscious locks. Yeah, get some final testing out, and then, I mean, honestly, yeah, get that decks list submitted so I can just, absolutely get crushed when I go up to Atlanta.
Look, man, I'm gonna level with you. Y'all gotta stop being so pessimistic. You gotta go in there with a winner's mentality.
That's just my nature.
Winner's mentality.
I am cynical.
I will tell you something I remember from solo queuing hours of ranked in League of Legends.
Oh, God.
Because I hate myself.
Yes,
so
apparently.
Look, when I would queue, I had this conversation with my buddies. I do not play games inherently to win. I play to have fun. But that also comes with a stipulation. I am not spending my time and money to lose intentionally. I'm not going to queue. I'm not going to sit down and play to lose. You can't go in with that mentality. Winner's mentality. You're going to sweep. All top 16 or top 6 of 16 is going to be all of our players. That wasn't me.
That was totally me.
Oh, okay, that was you. That's why I said it wasn't me. Hey, you should mute your phone.
Hey, I should mute my phone.
You should probably do that. God, I can't believe your phone had to undercut my inspirational speech.
Hey, a friend of mine just messaged me an inspirational thing because that's how we do it. That's how we roll.
They knew.
They knew.
But I'm telling you, man, you got it. Winner's mentality going into events.
All I can think of is a buddy of mine at work has this funny T-shirt, and you probably have heard about the guy before, but you know the Be a Man guy?
Yeah.
It literally just says, "Be a problem, be a man."
I always just think about. Have you seen the video of the Japanese dude who's like in like the wetsuit type thing, and he's standing in the ice cold water, and he gives this whole speech about like never give up. He's like, you just put your nose to the grindstone and work. He's talking about how it's like below freezing temperatures. He's standing in ocean water fishing for crabs and all this other stuff, and he's like I have a good attitude about it. You can do whatever you want. Mind over matter.
Do it.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, no. I think the teams are going to do well, even if you're going into it thinking that you're just going to get swept.
I think people are going to do well. I just have really bad luck, and inevitably I'm going to be facing Braden.
That's true. That does always happen.
Win. He's just going to win.
You guys could go to like a 2,000 person event, and you would still run into each other.
There are going to be 100 people here. I guarantee it. Mark my words. I guarantee it. I will face Braden at some point.
I'm calling it DraftKings Parlay, round 4.
Round 4? Your
Round
money's
4.
on round 4. Anybody
My
want to
money's-
take bets on what round I'm going to face Braden? Anybody?
Not a soul was listening.
Anybody want to take bets on what round I'm going to be facing Braden Spencer? Round 1?
All right, we got a round 1.
Ooh,
All right, we got a round
that's
one.
pretty tough. What are the odds on that? What do you think the odds on that are?
I don't know. Over under on that.
Over under? I'd say what? 5-1 odds.
5-1. Yeah, because I think that's the. No.
You're saying round 4.
I'm saying round 4.
That's
I think,
probably more likely after
feel like
we
it.
both have lost a couple of times.
I like how you're like under the mentality of like, yeah, we're both 0-3 at this point. We're the only two that haven't dropped.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I'm calling it now. So to make it a proper parlay, because it has to be weirdly specific. Round 4, both of your records are 2-2.
2-2. Okay.
2-2.
2 wins, 2 losses.
2 wins,
round
2
4.
losses. Round 4, and you guys are gonna play each
So
other.
then we're gonna play each other in round 5.
Or no, I guess it would be. Oh crap, yeah, because round 4 doesn't count.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'll say 1-2.
1-2.
1-2.
So 1 win, 2 losses.
1 win, 2 losses.
Okay.
That's the parlay.
We're gonna write this down.
We can write this down. I'll parlay this.
We'll
I'll
see.
throw $10 at this.
All right. I'll take you on that.
I can be a gambling man.
I'm betting the over under is going to be round 5 because there's going to be 7 rounds
So that would
over
be
2 days.
7 rounds over 2 days.
So I'm thinking day 2, round 5.
Aren't you guys leaving day 2 potentially?
I mean, probably. If we don't make it past a certain pointage, like only top 16 are playing.
I think you
next
guys should
day.
stay around Atlanta and play tourist a little bit.
I don't want to.
You should go to the Georgia Aquarium. It's a lot of fun. They have whale sharks. I think whale sharks are cool.
That would involve me going outside places, and
Go to the world of Coke.
I'm already because I want to go and visit a thing about Coca-Cola.
Dude, you can drink Coke from like China or
I
whatever.
really don't care. I don't like Coke.
What's wrong with you? How can you call yourself an honorary Southerner because you've lived here for more than 5 years and not like Coke?
I don't claim that. Like
Well,
ever.
you're claiming that now.
I'm
'cause
a
I said
foreign
so.
invader.
Yeah, I found this
Look,
out today.
look here.
All of our 4 listeners.
Look
This
here.
man's from Philly.
Yes, I am from the city of brotherly love.
Yuck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to continue that because I don't want people to think I actually
Right.
hate anyone.
Yeah. Watch that one, huh?
Philly. Yeah, that's a real shock though. I thought you were from here.
Ha! If you couldn't tell by my accent,
You don't have much of an accent to me.
get me angry enough.
It always comes out when you
Oh,
get
it
angry.
comes out when I get irritated.
It's like your Hulk transformation.
No, because I'm not always angry. I'm just always pissy.
That's valid. But
Look, I have a mood and it's always sour.
that's fair. But so okay, so we hit on the Star Wars thing because
Yeah.
I did want to talk about that because
Yeah.
you know I
It's
think it's
something to
important.
look forward to, and we're going to be leaving in 2 days. So
Yeah.
and we're going to get here really early in the morning to do it.
But so
I'm probably going to take off work tomorrow because I'm exhausted and I need to clean the car out because I'm going to have 4 other sweaty dudes just like
it's
in
gonna
my
be so much
car.
fun.
3 other.
3 because it's going 3 and 3 I think.
Yeah, it's going to be me, Braden, Joey, and Jones. I think is going to ride with me, and then
Okay.
Mike, Chris. I think Brett's driving himself.
Yeah, I think he said he was
Yeah, I think it's going to be Mike, Chris, and Brett are going to be the other party.
because I think Brett said he has like family up there or something. that
Yeah,
he's
I think
visited.
he's just going to go stay with the family, which honestly makes it easier. It's a 3 and 3 split for the rooms.
Yeah.
So
But
Joey and Braden are probably going to cuddle.
yeah, I think we already like confirmed that they're gonna do a little bit of cuddling.
All right, take a break. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Get a bit closer. That was a good clap that time.
That was a good clap.
There we go. Okay, so talked about Star Wars. Now, while you guys are all up there cuddling in hotel rooms and playing Star Wars over the
I'm gonna
weekend,
hide in a closet.
I'm gonna refrain from the joke. It's too lowbrow. There's a South Park episode that really hits on it, though.
Come out the closet. Tom Cruise, come out the closet.
I was trying to remember who it was that goes in the closet.
It was Tom Cruise. He's hiding in Stan's closet. And Stan's like, God damn it, Tom Cruise, get out of my closet.
So while you guys are doing,
It's nice in here.
while you guys are
like it.
doing that, wow, we already talked about it. and You still didn't do
She
it.
is being very supportive. Thank you, Kat.
You could still mute it.
I could, but I'm not going to.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to be running a Warhammer tournament.
No, that's true.
14 players for this one. I'm going to cry. Yeah, one of them is actually in the store right now. I don't want to call him over, though, because
He's playing Cyberpunk.
he's playing
right now.
Cyberpunk. We love Cyberpunk.
I do actually enjoy it. I'm very irritated that my game is kind of going on hiatus.
It'll come back.
It's understandable. I understand why. Life is happening. We kind of just need to take a break, regroup, recoup. I mean, two of my guys are military, so they're getting, shall we say, over a barrel by the Navy right now.
Yeah.
But either way,
You know.
proceed.
But yeah, so 14 players, which means 7 tables. I'm crying trying to get those laid out.
Do you even have 7 tables?
We have plenty of wooden tables
Uh,
that I can turn into Warhammer tables, 2 of them slapped together.
Hey, if we're not using that back room, we just got a brand new big table that you can throw up.
That's
thing
so
on it.
true, actually.
So you got 1, 2, 3. You could probably make big tables out of those 3. That's
Not
6.
to spoil it too much, but we were talking about potentially streaming one of the tables.
I think that would be good. I think that would be interesting. Setting up the tripod, getting the camera,
And just getting it rolling.
kinda
So
set
maybe that
up,
table
just
in
do some
there.
raw footage. Yeah, because we got all of our audio
Yeah.
equipment in the.
I think that would be the
room.
play.
Yeah, so our campaign room has turned into our studio, has turned into our D&D room again.
Yeah.
But only our D&D room.
Yeah,
You
but
guys
only
can't
for
use it.
the special people.
Special is one word to describe it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we
I
are.
can think of several other colorful ones.
But yeah, so we might stream from that room.
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
I think it'd be fun. This is also our first tournament that we're I can't say requiring painted models.
You're
but
giving bonus points.
The
for
points
painting
will be
models.
awarded for painted models.
So people will be up 10
They're
additional points.
incentivized
It is
heavily.
an incentivization.
I do know there's at least, I think, one player that's showing up without painted models just because he thinks that it's a flex to win without painted models. Down 10 points,
Come from behind.
pretty
The
much.
best way.
He is an Urgle player, so I think it's very fitting. But just
If he's
to,
a Nurgle player, all he has to do is just dunk them in like green
and like goo.
and like run them through the dirt a couple of times. Throw some like glue on their base and just kind of just run it through
Lore
the friggin' debris
Nurgle.
out there.
Lore Nurgle. Just drag him through like the mud and cough on him.
I mean, I'm sure they could find certain, lovely additives to the mulch out there that people like don't clean up after their pets.
Just use that. My great unclean one truly is unclean.
one is truly unclean.
Um,
I didn't even wash him.
but considering today I went through and did some last minute pruning just to see
Yeah.
if anyone dropped. We had 2 drops.
Yep.
I pulled them off the roster. I made a post in our Discord and said, "Hey guys, 2 slots open. I know it's last minute, but these are when the drops happen. So if anyone wanted to get in, go ahead and apply." By the time I refreshed the page after making that announcement, those slots were full again.
Honestly, kudos.
Yeah.
Genuinely from me to you, kudos.
I-
Because the fact that Warhammer was so dead in our store for so long, like when the Crusade kind of broke across the knee of the community, I was a little like put off by Warhammer. I am truly, genuinely, realistically, kudos to you.
I appreciate it. And here's the thing is, it's just about being in the position that I'm in as, the manager of the store, supporting the game and just really, just putting up for it. Because I notice a lot of stores either don't have the space to run, or they just don't have someone on staff that's as interested in the game,
Yeah.
Um,
That is one thing that I'm like the most like abashed, I think is the right word for it. That the fact that we have such a large kind of space in this space. I have seen stores half our size hosting big tournaments
yeah.
and like they are squeezing people in like sardines, but we actually have elbow room here.
Oh, yeah.
I think honestly, if we can get a couple more actual gaming, like wargaming tables put together, dude, we could host regularly 20 plus people. playing
Easily.
Warhammer.
I mean, at the rate we're going, I'm hoping by June, July time frame, we're not going to be able to have the store open for anything but Warhammer on a weekend, or at least a Sunday. We're shutting it
At
down
least a
just
Sunday.
to Warhammer.
You're not shutting down Saturdays.
No, I know not Saturdays. I know there will be a riot.
I will.
From
I will stab somebody.
all 8 of the Star Wars players.
I will. I will. We will come in full 501st Legion, and I will kick the door.
And actually, after you guys do that, all of the One Piece people will come in right after you and
oh Lord,
use their Devil Fruit powers
Watch
and
them all just roll in.
kick
It's
my
like,
ass.
What is the name of the fake straw hats?
Oh my god. I'm trying to remember.
I would totally pay some of the One Piece players to come in dressed up as the
fake straw
the
hats.
fake straw hats.
I feel like we haven't seen them in a long time. I wonder how they're doing in the story. I need to submit a question to the Oda, because Oda does this thing in the manga where every so often he answers fan questions.
Sure.
And it's where we get a lot of our lore, surprisingly.
Didn't they all get like arrested or something?
What?
I don't know.
No, Oda did not get arrested.
No, not
No,
Oda,
I was like, what?
characters, the
I
fake
was
straw
so
hats.
confused. I think they may have. I was so confused, like, no, Oda didn't get arrested.
Look,
I can
because-
talk about the legal trepidations of mangaka, but that's...
Drew, we were talking about Drew we were talking with Drew the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, you should totally cosplay Zorro. And he's like, look at me, I couldn't cosplay Zorro. And I pulled up the picture of the fake Zorro. I was like, you could totally cosplay Zorro.
It'd be so funny.
Yeah, because you got a pair of friggin' swords sitting over in the
Yeah,
corner.
the store defense swords.
Uh-huh.
They're so blunt that it's a club.
Causes 1d8 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, and 1d8 is bold. I'd say like 1d4.
D4 is a dagger, dude.
Those are barely.
A club at minimum does a D6.
Okay, so we'll meet in the middle then and call it a d6 bludgeoning. But
That's like a short sword. I could get behind that.
okay, but so Warhammer, 14 players. For the April one, which I'm going to get that listed probably sometime this weekend if I can find the time, because I'm going to be working a lot while you guys are gone. But that's the trade-off.
It is hilarious.
I'm happy with it.
It is hilarious to me that you have to post these so far in advance because
they fill up.
they get filled up so quickly.
Yeah, the April one I will bump by 2 players as always, so it'll be a 16.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get a new table. If it means I have to hold someone at gunpoint to get a hold of another table and more mats and terrain and everything.
There's a sword right there on the wall.
There is a sword on the wall. We're not going to have it, though.
You say
In the
that.
time. I'll have the shop defense swords. We can use those. But yeah, I'm going to have to figure out a way to get a hold of more tables, more terrain, another battle mat. But you know what? I'm going to keep scaling it up as much as I need to.
As much as you can.
As much as I can. I mean, sky's the limit. We like you were just saying, like they can cram way more people into half the space.
If I can sit in a store and smell my neighbor 3 chairs over because of how close we are, like, we totally have the space to accommodate more people.
I mean, I think that genuinely, if we locked down the store just for Warhammer, we set every possible surface up for Warhammer, our top end support would probably, I'd say we could probably support like anywhere from 30 to 40 players. I'll say 36. We can do a 36.
I'd say we could probably fit about anywhere from 15 to 20 tables in here easily enough.
So then, yeah, that puts us about 30 to 40.
Yeah.
Which is insane Warhammer numbers, as I'm sure anyone who plays knows. It scales very quickly. It scales, but
Especially if you do a doubles tournament.
yeah, oh yeah, I love the doubles tournaments.
Speaking of, and I don't want to say things that are not true, but rumor has it that our owner, the man, the myth, the legend, is considering trying to apply for a PQ for Star Wars, because we have the space. Our space is as big as the place we went to, and if not bigger than the place we went to in St. Augustine for the PQ. So he thinks that if we can get more play space in here, more tables and whatnot, we will probably be able to host a PQ within the next set or two. So that is going to be cool, because, I've been trying to get sponsorship for my level 1 judge.
I know you've been fighting for that since they announced the judge program.
Because like we're listed on there as a store that's listed, which should mean that we can sponsor, but because we have not applied for a PQ, there's a lot of like, oh, your store is too small, whatever, you can't handle it. Then they don't want to, because they don't want to flood the judges
of course,
program with a bunch of level 1s that don't do anything. But consistently, I have been hosting and running the Star Wars events for us weekly every chance that I get.
Yeah.
And if our store is capable of handling a PQ, which they said you should be able to handle 100 people, I don't think I've yet seen a PQ that is about 100 people. The biggest one that we've seen in our local area is like 72 people with the capacity for 76.
Yeah.
So I think if we can hit that number, more than likely they'll give us the A-OK.
We can easily hit that, considering just with our normal table layout, we can support
36 people.
36. So you add on even just 5 more tables.
Right.
Or even just 3, because 3 tables wouldn't leave the designated play area that we have.
Right.
That adds an additional 12 people onto that. Makes it 48.
12 tables? What do you mean?
Yeah, 3 tables.
3, just straight up 3 six-person tables.
Oh, well, if there's still the 6-person tables, then obviously that's 18 more players.
Right.
I was just thinking of the folding tables.
Oh, you're thinking of folding tables. Yeah,
which normally
so
only
you
4
get
people.
Yeah. So, I mean, 3 more tables is 12 more tables. That's 48 tables. That's half.
Yeah.
A little bit over half of what we need.
Yeah, so.
And again, the play space that we have where the wargaming tables are, if we move the wargaming tables out of the way, we could easily set up. You were looking worse for wear, like by the second.
I'm fine.
We can totally like put folding tables up. I mean, that's basically all that was up at the other one.
Yeah.
It doesn't have. Look, these tables are gorgeous. Braden did a very good job when he built these tables. But if we're just doing it for a tournament, we don't need to have fancy. Fancy's for our regular play.
Yeah.
Regular store, regular things that we do here.
Yeah, only the regulars get the good stuff.
I do not endorse what he just said.
I wonder how much I have to laugh before everyone knows that I'm joking when I say that.
I can make a joke and laugh about it, and nobody thinks I'm joking, and then I get raked over the coals.
Yeah, it's because you're too dry. You're too British about it.
I would take that as an insult, but I don't think you're wrong. But yeah, I mean, if we put out a bunch of folding tables, we could accommodate enough people to run a PQ as is. So
yeah, I mean, again, I think they say they want it to be able to accommodate up like 100 players, just because once you go out to the Midwest, which as we all know at this point, the Midwest seems to be like the mecca of anything like board game TCG related.
TCG related.
You know, I have a lot of friends that go to Gen Con every year, which is in Indiana.
Well, yeah, because that's where Gary Gygax comes from.
I think so, something like that.
He invented Gen Con.
Oh, did he invent?
Again, we are not on camera right now, but the look that I'm giving him right now should speak volumes to what the hell.
I would say he's bullying me, but I feel like I could kick him in the hip and it would save me.
All I gotta do is just walk at a brisk pace to outpace you.
Well, yeah, I'm fat. I know it. Can't use that one against me.
Well, and you can't breathe through your sinuses right now.
Oh, yeah, I can only imagine what I sound like on a recording. I know we normally go for like an hour and a half. I'm not sure I'm making it to an hour and a half this time.
Know.
But
we definitely had a few breaks there, so
yeah,
it's cut into our time a little bit.
I feel like our breaks, compared to the prior times we used to do this and we would take breaks.
Of that recording that happened before. That recording doesn't exist.
That was a great time.
Uh-huh.
We sounded so robotic by the end because we had run through that like four times.
4 times. We don't speak of the cursed recorded.
My
episode.
favorite is when we were like an hour and some change in, and then one of the lapel mics died.
55 minutes. 55 minutes in.
It's great. I love it. Everything's awesome. But I don't remember what we were talking about. PQs and PQs.
Yeah.
Bigger
Possibly.
Warhammer events.
Again, not saying it's true. Not saying it is completely accurate. It is something that we have been discussing as the employees at the store would we be able to handle it?
I-
Would we be able to do it? I think we could.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's much of a secret, because if Joe Blow walks in off the street and went up to Braden and asked, "Hey, would you want to host a PQ?" The answer is always going to be yes.
Well, sure.
So I mean, I don't think it's
Well, and
I
then-
think it's controversial to say, yeah, we'd love to host one, and we're
Well-
trying to look into the logistics of it.
And the Star Wars community around here is getting bigger.
It's growing rapidly.
Bigger. We just had like 3 new people show interest in Star Wars today.
Yeah, just today.
So I think it's gonna be right up there with frickin' One Piece and Magic.
Yeah, it must be nice. Your card game keeps growing because there's actually product available. I can't get anyone into One Piece because I sell out of it in like a day.
Well, I mean that's what happens when you have a large community just south of us that
Yeah.
plays the game religiously,
Oh, yeah.
and then finds out that we sell our stuff at MSRP because we sell our stuff at MSRP. We do not change our prices
Yeah.
based on what it is worth online, for good or for ill, as we have emphasized so many times. And
That
honestly,
TikTok was so much fun to film.
well, and honestly, like at this point, I kind of feel like we need to just kind of bash on some scalpers a little bit, because you have any idea how many people I have had to turn away because we don't, or better yet, have walked in. You guys sell Pokemon? Yes, but we don't have any sealed product. Oh, turn around and leave.
Well, no, my favorite is. So this is always a fun thing that happens whenever we get Pokemon in recently.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a little bit of that inside baseball for you before we probably sign off for the night. So we get Pokemon in.
Yep.
We put it in the system.
Yep.
I have to speed run to set the stuff as not available on our online store.
Can't you do that before you hit the activate?
You have to make it active, then you go in and manage the
Oh,
sales
yeah,
channels.
That's true.
That is just some weird thing with Shopify. I'm sure if we ever get the traction of more than our locals, I'm sure someone will come out and say, hey, with Shopify, you can do this, 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 and this, and it'll let you do it.
Right.
But I'm too stupid to figure it out.
I wouldn't say stupid. I'd just say illiterate.
Yeah, probably. Cybersecurity major, by the way.
Yeah. Like I said, illiterate.
But so, it's not a real IT major. No one can tell me otherwise. So I have to race to take it off the online store because people have set up bots to where if they see Pokemon product, sealed Pokemon product below a certain price threshold, I don't know how these bots exactly interact. Or they scan Shopify.
Right. It's probably something to do with Shopify
Yeah,
itself.
because Shopify is just a sales platform, all the
Right.
same as like TCG Player, eBay, all that. You can just browse through stores.
Yeah.
So the second that they see something listed below a certain pricing threshold, it will just try and buy everything.
Yep.
I'm telling you, within 10 minutes one time of a product being listed, Pokemon product being listed.
The fastest time that was ever in the store, 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, because the second we clicked,
The second you clicked it and the page saved and refreshed, we immediately got sold out because
we had an order.
we had an order for everything we had in
Yeah.
the store.
So there's these people out here that are they've set up their bots, and I mean they've got them set up to spend $5, $6, $7, $800
Easily.
just on a whim on Pokemon product. Which if you're selling an MSRP or even just I'll even say MSRP because I know there's been an argument that Pokemon doesn't do an MSRP anymore. They just have what is called a list. There's the list price listed through your distributor, which isn't the same as MSRP.
Which is kind of like a manufacturer's recommended sales point.
Yeah, it's an MSRP, manufacturer
Oh, is that
suggested
what that
retail
is?
price.
Yeah, there you go.
I know that there's technically a difference.
Right.
It's not as
And we all love
scrutinized the same way.
technicalities.
We do love technicalities. As card game and board game players, we love our technicalities.
Mm-hmm.
But so I know there's an argument to be made that it's like how Magic was for a while. There's no true MSRP. You can list based off of the market or whatever.
Right.
But so we follow the list price, and they will see stuff at list price. Let me tell you, the first time we got sealed product in after this whole boom, I had to cancel, I think, 10 orders.
I'm not surprised because those are the kind of people that hate joy in children.
And that's the thing, and I won't
And I
even
just
say
don't like
children.
kids.
I won't even say children at this point because I recognize that they're adults who collect. And there's a difference between a collector.
There's a difference between somebody who cherishes the thing that they buy because they want to enjoy it or have it, right? A completionist. I am a
Yeah.
completionist. I enjoy collecting all of the hyperspaces for my game. There's a difference between somebody like that and somebody who literally buys product at a lower price and immediately jacks up the price and sells it. Somebody who goes into a store. Dude, I saw a rush on Pokemon sealed product at like a Costco.
Oh my God.
Where there was a madhouse of people that was literally snatching things out of the hands of children.
I love watching
those
videos.
people are evil.
My
and
favorite.
I don't care who wants to make a nasty comment on our YouTube about it.
Well,
you are scum.
I would.
Tell me I'm
It's
wrong.
scummy. It is scummy.
Tell me I'm wrong.
It's scummy.
The
It's
kind of person that goes
to
in
snatch
there-
it out of the hands of children.
Right.
Yes, that is scummy.
That's what I'm saying.
So my favorite is when the my example that I use is Costco when they released I think it's called like the Blooming Water collection. It was the last like sealed product for $151.
Sure.
They came out. It was like I think it came with like 8 packs or something like that. 8 packs in a promo. In a big old like cardboard box.
In the big cardboard box. I
Because,
think it was the video that I saw.
Yeah, probably. So my favorite is it was a random Costco. So they open. You see the classic like the Black Friday speed walk
Right.
/ run to the back to grab
Right.
it.
Everybody's like walking hastily, then suddenly one guy
One
breaks
person
away,
breaks and
and that just
runs.
causes the entire crowd of people to
But my
rush.
favorite was so they like slam. They slam into this thing like a wave.
Right.
You know, a product goes everywhere. They're scrambling to pick it up. You see literal fights breaking out.
Right.
Over this stuff. And then in the video that I saw, at least, they had it interspliced with screenshots of eBay listings of literally people haven't even left Costco yet.
Right.
Receipt in hand, taking a picture, selling it for 2 to 3x the retail price.
Right.
Which is just
Like I said,
mind-blowing to me.
I mean, okay, there we have speculation amongst us as employees. We have speculation on what's going on, what's actually happening. Not going to put on my tinfoil hat or anything like that for this, but the fact of the matter is, you have a game that is designed to be played by children. I get it, collectors collect, and I am a child of the friggin' 80s. I was around for the original incarnation of Pokemon when it came to the States. I was a huge fan. I still enjoyed the games up to a certain point. I get it. Classic game. If you grew up with it and you love the game and you love collecting it, this is not about you. This is about the people that go, oh, this thing is really popular right now. There is a limited quantity of it. I'm going to buy it up at a market price and then immediately turn around and multiply that number by 5 and sell it to somebody.
It's the same thing as people who buy like limited edition shoes and resell them. Like scalpers are going to scalp anything.
Right.
But
when it comes to adults with disposable income buying things like shoes and children taking their pocket money and wanting to crack open a booster pack because they enjoy the game.
Yeah.
They enjoy the characters that they're seeing versus somebody who's going, I can make money off of this. I am going to buy everything I can. And my favorite is the people that come in and we're like, hey, we have a Pokemon community here.
Yes.
We have a bunch of children that come in our store and enjoy the game, and they've been coming to our store since we were at our other location.
Yes.
And they come in and all they want is just a handful of the cards. They have their pocket money. They want to buy. We sell the cards at $5 a pack.
Yep.
And we sell it to kids with their pocket money because they want the joy of opening a pack and finding their favorite Pokemon.
It's that thing that we remember as kids doing.
When I get people coming in here going, well, why can't I buy a box? Because we're not selling it as a box. We're selling them as packs.
Or, just the weird reaction you'll sometimes get when it's, hey, we're going to put this community first because they show up whether we have product or not.
Right. They show
they're
up
here
every week.
They're here for the love of the game. Mm-hmm. They're here because, childlike wonder and enjoyment and this community building. And you have to foster that. You have to foster that at a young age. It's
side tangent real quick. I actually am enjoying having this conversation because very few times am I justified in my grouchiness. And I feel this right here is old man shaking at clouds with a whole crowd of people behind
and
him
it's justified
shaking
for
their
once.
fist, 10,000 fists in the air.
Old man yelling at clouds joined by community.
Mm-hmm.
Community building. But no,
Anyway,
it is just, it makes me sad. again, I love to see games take off,
Mm-hmm.
and Pokemon is a game that has had a resurgence.
Right.
Outside of all of the the dour scalping situations
Right.
and the lack of product availability,
Right.
you're seeing the game blow up in a way that it hasn't since the 90s, even since like when it had that weird pickup during COVID, like the COVID time frame, like 2021.
That was most like card games and
Yeah.
and like D&D role playing games, things like that. Saw a huge resurgence there.
Yes.
Critical Role had a huge
Yeah.
surge there.
But I remember that because it was one of the Paul brothers, I can't remember which one, when he went through his whole thing, he was like, oh, base set, open in the Charizard,
Right.
and that whole thing that happened,
Right.
and that caused the game to pick
well,
up.
and then also you got to think it's also the internet generation.
Yeah.
It's the internet generation. My kid is online almost regularly, and it's not so much because I'm like, oh, you get all this screen time and whatnot. No, but it's like she was born in an age when smartphones had better computing power than the first computer I ever owned.
Yeah.
When the internet is accessible at your fingertips, when before you had to wait for the mail to show up with your AOL discs for 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, to give a perspective on how different things are, especially for like me growing up, because I feel like I was born right in that sweet spot where I can remember being in elementary school and being told by my teachers, you're not allowed to use a calculator because it's not like you're always going to have a calculator with you when you go to do math.
And then when you like go 2 grades later and suddenly
Smartphones are a thing.
Everybody has a calculator in their
And
pocket.
but then also now I was even going to say in college where we've been having to deal with AI, with ChatGPT and all that, and especially because I'm in an IT adjacent field, because again,
Right.
cybersecurity is not an IT field. I will fight someone on this.
Sure.
Because I have friends that are software engineers. I don't do nearly as much as them. We've reached a point where it started off as, hey, don't use this, it's cheating.
Right.
To now it's like, hey, at
It's-
least mark where you use it because we can't, because
Right.
it's a tool. It's
Right.
the same thing as
It's
a
a
calculator. It's a tool to use. Is it making
rephrase
worse?
this for me. Like, I'm going to type this out, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
I'm not very eloquent. Rephrase
Better,
this.
it makes better.
I'm
If
gonna
used
tell you-
correctly, it will make better people.
I'm going to tell you right now, there are people that I work with that make 6 figures a year, which means, for those who don't understand, that's like $100,000. That's not $1 million. Okay,
God, I
gotta
wish it was $1
clarify
million.
that. 6 figures a year. They use chat AI rewrites for their reports and things
Of
like
course.
that. Whenever they have to do big explanations and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because it's easier. It is a tool. It allows you to put the information down and have it rewritten in an eloquent way that is clear and concise.
Do I think, at least in the IT side of things, is it making worse coders?
Probably.
100%. Because a lot of people don't understand the code that it's spitting out, and they
Right.
don't understand the far-reaching ramifications, because if you didn't write the code, you don't know how to fix it. And
Yep.
it's the classic, and I'm sure you'll understand this as someone who deals with electrical stuff. It's kicking the can down the road. I'm going to cut my corners.
How does that relate to electrical?
Didn't you just get electrocuted the other day because of someone who was cutting corners?
Am I still breathing?
You are, but
Then
it was
I'm not
probably...
electrocuted. I was shocked the other day.
Oh, semantics.
No. Yes,
But-
no. I was shocked the other day because somebody backfed a freaking can that wasn't supposed to be backfed by another
Yeah.
breaker.
But, I think this is a fun tangent, and one to end on, probably.
I totally want to just reiterate, because I didn't get to finish my little spiel.
Yeah.
I've literally I derive very little joy in the world that is greater than watching a scalper look absolutely dumbfounded when I tell them, if you buy a box from us, we will cut the plastic before
Yeah.
you walk out the store.
That is a fun one. I'm cutting plastic.
You are only allowed to buy one of these products. You are only allowed to buy 4 of the packs.
Yeah.
At a time per day.
Wow, it's crazy.
Why?
We limit so that
Oh,
more people can get
because-
stuff.
My favorite was, don't remember the conversation that actually happened, but I overheard it. And it was something along the lines of, well, when do you put the when are you getting the product? Oh, we get it on a Friday, but we're not releasing it until Sunday. Okay, so be here Sunday. Well, no, we put it out for our local Pokemon club. So they have first crack at it. Okay, well, when does that happen? That's going to be at 3 o'clock on Sunday when they show up. Oh, so at 3 o'clock? No, it's going to be after they've had a chance to go through it. After they've had a chance. Well, when are they going to? When do you think that'll be? My brother in Christ, you're not getting a crack at this.
Yeah, like you won't get a crack till Monday. Just call it Monday.
Just wait until Monday. Come back in Monday after everything is said and done, and you are more than welcome to buy product.
Yeah.
At a limited quantity.
Yeah.
It's different between One Piece. One Piece, we have a limited amount of product coming in, so normally we can't pre-order or we can't like sell boxes upon boxes to people.
There is madness happening.
The distraction.
I was about to say, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I am fading rapidly.
All right. Well, I'll finish my point, but it's like
No,
there's a difference between not having enough product.
Excuse me.
And trying to space it out for people that locally that help us, that support us, that kind of thing, and not having enough product because somebody wants to come in and buy it all out.
Yeah, I mean there's a distinct difference.
Right.
You know.
So Scalper's bad and you guys are scum.
Throw that on a t-shirt.
Hey, put it on a t-shirt and I'll wear it in the store.
Yeah, scalping bad. More controversial opinions later. Now, water is wet.
Water is wet, fire is hot.
Yeah.
And the sun hates me.
I hate to cut it here. I know
No,
I promised
it's
D&D
not
stories. I promised D&D stories. I promise I'll give them next week. You can hold
Lies
me
and
to that.
conjecture.
You know, we'll probably be back on
I
stream.
wouldn't want to hold you at all.
That's fair. I'm heavy and I'm sick right now. You don't want
You
to
are
get
sick. I don't want anything to do with you being
see, he's
sick.
leaning away right now. Like he's actively leaning away from me.
Patient zero over here.
Yeah, right. But I'll tell some D&D stories next week. Hopefully, I'll have time to come up with the good ones.
I mean, because if you don't, I'm gonna have to tell another one, and then you're just really not gonna want to.
I know you're gonna scream till my ears bleed.
You enjoyed that story, and you can. Kiss,
it was a funny story.
The palest part of the posterior that is at the top of my legs.
Yeah. So D&D stories. I want to go over how the Warhammer tourney goes. I'm sure you're gonna want to talk about the results of the Star Wars tournament.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it's gonna be a lot of aftermath reporting.
If we win, if I win, I'm not gonna win. But if I win, I'm not gonna tell anybody. But there will be signs.
There will be signs.
$4,000 prize. Shoot.
New car.
I already have a new car.
Newer car.
I don't need a newer car. I've already got a nice new car that's 2024.
But I think on that note, my name is Tyler P.
I'm Nick the Red, and you have been listening to Beneath the Surface. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will see you next week.
Heck yeah.
Bye.
Goodbye.